evening. It is Friday. It's 6 days before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there watching the show. Hope you have a great holiday. This is, of course, our last show before Christmas, and it's going to be a good one because we have had a good week, haven't we? Let's be honest. We have, of course, had two really, really big wins. Better performances as well, which is important. Scored a lot more goals as well, looking much more like the team we expect to be. So we're going to look back on the two wins against Everton, of course, and Leuven from the other night. Of course, there's a game this weekend as well, our final game of 2025. It will be against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. In the Subway Cup. We played him in the FA Cup last season, wasn't it? So we've got that game to look forward to as well. And, of course, it is nearly the end of what has been a momentous 2025. So we're going to look back on maybe one particular memory from the year that maybe, we might all quite enjoy. So all that's to come, of course, the other side of this. And of course, we've got the jet setter back with us. Andreas, how are you this week following the trip into Belgium? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I have to smile about your outfit. Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm not bad at all. I had a good trip to Belgium and brought home the win and the fifth place in the table of the Champions League. I think this was the maximum we could achieve on this day.
Yeah, I think we're the start that we had to the competition, and I suppose finishing fifth has got to be seen as a positive end. But before we get into the obviously Champions League game, there was of course a game last weekend, WSL game. It was another vital game that we had to win, and it was much better. Now, of course, it seems as though in the last few games we are starting to see why we paid £1 million for Olivia Smith. She's starting to really come into her own now, isn't she? She's scoring goals, she's a threat, and now she's getting regular games in the team. Now, we have to question, was it because she had an injury? We believe she was injured earlier in the season. Maybe that was why she wasn't playing regular. Or did she just need to adapt to the way we played and integrate into the team? Whatever it was, now she's playing regular. She's in the team every game. And we're starting to see exactly how good she can be and what she can bring to the team. And yes, it was a good performance against Everton anyway. I thought much better than in recent weeks where we've won games, but we've maybe struggled to find a flow and a rhythm. I thought against Everton we looked a lot better, particularly in the first half. We played well. Obviously, we conceded a daft goal, but other than that, we deserved to be in front at half time. And of course, in the end, we won the game reasonably comfortably against a team, of course, who let's not forget had beaten Chelsea the week before. So they're a very inconsistent team, Everton. That they can be really, really good or really poor. I don't really think it made any difference what Everton turned up on Saturday. I think we were good enough to have beaten them anyway. The way that we played, we were really good, especially in that first half. I thought we looked a lot better going forward. And obviously we scored some good goals as well, which is always nice. Katie McCabe's goal, of course, fantastic. Another Katie McCabe banger, of course. First one she's got for a while, actually. So that was nice. And yeah, it was just all round. It was just an all-round good performance and a good 3 points away from home. And yes, briefly took us up to second in the table, which looked nice, I suppose, above Chelsea. Briefly, it looked good for 24 hours, didn't it? But I mean, the reality is we are where we are in the league. We've got a lot of work to do, and we've got to keep now producing these performances in 2026 on a regular basis, consistent basis in the WSL and in the other competitions that we've got as well. But it was much more positive. I felt that was, is it quite a turning point? Maybe not quite yet, but it was certainly a step in the right direction. I mean, Andreas, it was a good performance, wasn't it, against Everton overall?
Yeah, it was a good performance, and especially it was a better performance than the weeks before or in the last block. We were lucky to have this warning from the Chelsea game the week before, so everybody knew how difficult this game can be and how good Everton can be. And we were concentrated from the beginning. We had a good start in the game and first chances, and then this banger from Katie, in I think 11th minute. So normally this should have brought more calmness or security in our game, but we conceded 4 minutes later the equalizer. What was not good defended. We lost the ball, and things that happen very often in this first half of the season. But this time our reaction to the equalizer was very good. There was no downfall or that you can say, oh, the team was shocked and doesn't know what to do now. No, the answer was very good. We kept the control and were trying to push for a second goal, and we found the goal a few minutes later. So 2-1 up, and a lot of chances in the first half. We should have gone with 3-1 or 4-1 at halftime. Scored in second half, to be on the safe side. If you're only one goal up, then it's always a game on the edge, and something can always happen. But the more important was the goal from Olivia Smith, another banger a few minutes before the end. But she's such a special player. She has this confidence to shoot or to try something, and not pass the ball or take the ball behind the line, but she risks something, and very often it doesn't work, but sometimes it works, and it was her third goal in the league. And she added one more on Wednesday in the Champions League. So she's very important for us, and as you said, it's good that she gets regular minutes now. I think it was a bit of both, that she had to adapt with the team, with the new club, with the new city, changes in life. She's only 21. We shouldn't forget this. A very young girl, and the first time in a big club in such a city. And she had some niggling injuries, but now when she gets regular time, she's a regular starter, and we can see how important she can be. It's just the beginning of her career, and still, and already she's so important for us. With the performance, all in all, I was very satisfied. I think it was another step in the right direction. It was not the weakest team of the league. We had the weakest team the week before, Liverpool, and had more problems than against Everton. It shows what we are capable of if we are concentrated from the very beginning. And so I think with this 3-1, we can all be satisfied. And thanks to the results a day later, we are now on third place, and we sit on a Champions League spot during Christmas break. So that's, after the bad start we had, after the disappointing results, that's the best that could happen. Only 2 points behind the second place, and on third. So it looks better than it looked 3, 4, 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah, and at the end of the day, we can't change the previous results that we've had, that some of the previous performances that we've had. We have to deal with it. All we can do is go forward and keep improving and keep winning games. And if we win most of our games after Christmas in the second half of the season in the league, we'll certainly be there or thereabouts where we should be. So that's all we can do now. And yes, I still don't feel we're quite there yet. There's still issues and problems in the team that we need to improve and work on, and I'm sure we will. But certainly we are taking a step in the right direction, and let's just keep winning the games. Maybe the break, as the break from the WSL, obviously we have got one more game left, but maybe the break has come at a bad time, just as we seem to be picking up some form. It might have been nice to have played a couple more games and kept that going, but maybe we'll come back refreshed in January and we can go again and push on, because there's a lot of exciting competitions that we've got to play for in January and beyond. So we it's a lot to look forward to for next year, but at least we can feel a bit more positive about it now, because I must admit the last few weeks, although we've had a few wins, I was not really feeling too positive about where the season was heading, because I just didn't feel as though we were playing well enough to be able to maintain the challenges in the competitions coming up. But now I'm starting to feel, yes, I'll say it's not perfect yet and we've got work to do, but I'm starting to feel a little bit more positive now that we can start going on a decent run of results and push our way back, you know, closing in on the top of the table a bit more. And I still think Man City will have a wobble, and they generally do. So we need to be there or thereabouts and keep pushing and doing what we can. But it was good. And you're right. I like the fact that when we conceded the goal straight after scoring as well, which is, you know, that's the worst time to concede a goal when you've just scored. And then we didn't let it bother us particularly. We came back and we got ourselves back in front again. And that's the best reaction that you can do. You know, if you concede a goal and you maybe make mistakes at the back, it wasn't great defending again. We've said this a few times, but anyway, we conceded the goal. But it doesn't matter, because straight away we went back up the other end and got ourselves back in front. And then there didn't really seem to be much doubt. I didn't feel that we were going to drop points in that game. I always felt we'd win. It was just a matter of how many would we win by. Yes, the second half was not quite as exciting, but we got the job done. Obviously, Livy got the goal at the end to make it 3-1 and make it safe, and we could all relax and enjoy the rest of the game with a little bit more sort of comfort, I suppose. But yeah, it was a much more positive performance, and I actually enjoyed it. I haven't enjoyed many of our performances recently. It's been a bit of a struggle to watch them because it's been so poor and frustrating. But that was much better. It was a much better step in the right direction, and yeah, that's what we needed as well, I think. We've got a few comments in already there. We've got Lethal Chicken says, good evening to yourself. Treewife says, Merry Christmas all, and to yourself as well. Terry's with us, says, good evening, Richard and Lordy, indeed. Top Shelf says, Smith playing left side for now, which I think makes a big difference. When Kelly comes back, that will change. Well, not necessarily. I mean, you know, Kelly generally plays off the right-hand side anyway, and you could potentially play Kelly and Olivia Smith, both of them, one each side, couldn't you? I suppose. But let's see what happens when we've got all our players fit and see what the team is, what Rene goes with. But we've got options there. We've got lots of different options when everyone's fit, so which is a good choice to have. Ryan says, Rene in, Rene out, shake it all about. Yeah, indeed, I've changed it this week because we had a good week. We'll talk about Champions League in a minute, actually, because we did some news for the draw and stuff like that. So we'll get into that in a minute as well when we get on to the midweek game. Terry says they got early Christmas present yesterday. Just got the contract working at London City Lionesses. They've just bought a sports ground in Larkfield. Are looking for plans. Looking at the plans for the place. They're serious about winning the W. So yeah, of course they are. They're serious. Yeah, they are. They've certainly got the Wonga they have. Yeah, they've definitely got the Wonga. Agneta is with us as well. Good evening from Sweden. Positive. Now, of course, we'll be positive tonight. We just played well. Terry says, in my opinion, Rene and the backroom staff still need to go. That's kind of up for grabs a little bit. Terry says, Richard, I hope that's a hat. Otherwise, that's really bad. Yeah, it's definitely a hat. Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm still not convinced totally by Rene yet. And I think she's got work to do. But looking at the contract situation, she's going to have to do that work between now and the end of the season, really, isn't she? She's going to have to prove herself again that she is the right person to take us forward, and that the Champions League last season wasn't just a one-off, and it is a sustainable sort of step to build on. And that's what she needs to prove now between now and the end of the season, or she might not be here next season anyway. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't just want us to change manager for the sake of it. Absolutely not. I want us to be moving in the right direction and having the people at the club, the best people we can possibly have in all the right jobs that there is, so that we can have the best possible chance of going on and being successful. And if that means, unfortunately for Rene, it's not her, then that's unfortunate. I'll be a little bit sad because I like Rene. And if she proves that she is the one and she can take us forward and take us to that next step, then brilliant. Everyone's happy, aren't they? But the club's got to come first above any individual. And I think sometimes with the women's team, I've noticed it a little bit too much. In women's football, maybe generally, we do get a little bit too sentimental. And it is all about the club, not any individual, whether it's a player, whether it's a manager, whoever it is. They're not bigger than the club. And if it's not working out, it's not working out. We've got to be sometimes a bit more ruthless, and we've got to make tough decisions sometimes for the good of the club as a whole, and that's what we need to look at. But at the moment, things are going well. We're moving in the right direction. So let's see what 2026 brings. But I'm certainly feeling a lot more positive now than I was a week or a couple of weeks ago, for definite. So, which is good. And of course, after Everton, we had another tricky away trip to a little bit unknown in a sense. I mean, Andreas spoke about the team from Belgium, Leuven, last week. Their record has been really good. So maybe it wasn't going to be such an easy evening. But actually, it didn't turn out too bad again, did it? So, of course, Andreas, you was there. What that looked like, I mean, from the vlog, it looked like a really nice little stadium, a kind of a lower league English ground. It looked like ground that we've all been to loads of times, I'm sure. And it just looked a really nice little ground. Yeah, not as fantastic in facilities as maybe the Emirates or some of the other stadiums, but it just looked, from what I saw in the video, it looked such a nice little ground, actually. And it seemed like there was a great atmosphere as well with the Arsenal fans. And it just seemed like a really enjoyable evening. And obviously winning the game obviously helped, a decent performance as well. I mean, it must have been a good trip. I know your journey there wasn't much fun, but once you was there, it sounded like it was a good evening.
Yeah. All in all, it was worth taking all the effort. My train had 3 hours delay, and I couldn't go to the pre-match meet up with the supporters club because I arrived at very late, and just headed to the hotel, changed to my Arsenal clothes, and then took the bus to the stadium. And from afar, you could hear the Arsenal supporters. They made a fan walk from the city center to the stadium, and there were 2 blocks totally in our hands. And if you think it was a record attendance for Belgium, 9,800 or something like that, and 1,100 from Arsenal supporters. That's I must laugh because I have friends in the German talk, and they are Eintracht Frankfurt supporters. And last time they said for an away game, we have about 50 supporters from us going to the away game. 50. We have 1,100, and not in the same country, but traveling from London to Belgium, to a small city like Leuven. Not easy to reach, and just fantastic. It was like a home atmosphere for our team, and the team made it a very comfortable evening. I think it was a very good performance, very concentrated. And I think the preparation must have been good, because last week we spoke about the results from Leuven. They only had lost against Barcelona 3-0. All the others drawn, and one win. And against us, they had never the chance of scoring or creating anything. We dominated from the beginning. We scored nice goals, very good combination and creating chances. And even after the second goal, we were 2-0 up. We were concentrated. We were dominant. And at halftime, I was a bit afraid. 2-0 up in Champions League, it gave me these Bayern Munich vibes, where we were 2-0 up and had a fantastic first half. But Leuven is not Bayern, and we were concentrated in second half. Very good that Leah Williamson got 8 minutes or so against Everton, and now about 15 or 20 minutes, and you could see how important she is for the defense. There were 2 situations in which her reading of the game, her positioning, where she's standing, was so good and so important that she prevents situations to come up, and that's very important. And we have now Kim and Leah back, and when Kim went out, then Leah was in, so it always was one of our leaders on the pitch, and that's so important. And another word about Kim Little. I think the time when she was out, and now the 2 games or 3 games she was back, shows she's, despite her age, she's the most important player in our team. The heart and soul of everything. And when she's on the pitch, you always know there is someone who reads the situations, who reads the game, and someone you can pass the ball in. Even if she's under pressure, she knows. She finds a solution. She knows what to do, and so important for the whole team. Leading by example, as everybody says. And Lotta had a very good game. Once again, positioning in the defense, in the air, very good. And I think Kyra secured her place in the starting 11. It's the last games she was good and growing with every game, and of course it helps Kyra that she has Kim besides her, and I think the midfield has found itself now with Kyra, with Kim, and Mariana in the 10 position much better than as a holding midfield, as a number 6. Interesting to see that Taylor Hines played right back and Foxy was rested for most of the game. This was a bit surprising. And in the attacking line, Beth Mead on fire. I think she has really a good first half of the season, and the last games very important. And also for her, she's not the fastest player anymore, but she's very intelligent. You see how she adapts to situations. She knows when to invert, to come inside, when to stay out on the wings, and so thumbs up for Beth. Very good performance, and a fantastic goal from her. So all in all, very good performance and 3 points. Brilliant atmosphere, was really worth to make this trip, and I'll be back in Leuven in February for the playoffs. Hopefully with from the Deutsche Bahn then.
No, exactly. I mean, it's funny how the draw works out. I guess that, we have to play them again in the playoffs, but maybe that's quite a good thing now because we know we've got the better of them. And yes, it's a different game. It's over 2 legs next time, and then it'll be totally different. But we know we've got the beating of them now, and I think that draw has actually worked out quite well. Yes, it'd be nice to have played a different team that we haven't played yet, but I guess the nature of the new league stage is there's always that possibility that you could play the same team that you've played in the group. And Man United are the same time that they're playing a team that they've already played as well. It's just the way it's worked out, unfortunately. But anyway, we're in there, and that's the main thing. And to finish 5th after the start we had, losing 2 of our first 3 games, is a decent effort. We can't really be too disappointed with that. I think 5th was the best we could have hoped for at that particular point, and that's where we finished. Yes, top 4 would have been much better, avoiding that playoff, especially as it's coming. We've got that World Club World Cup thing to play as well. It's not ideal to have a playoff game, but anyway, I'd rather be in the playoffs than not be in it at all. So we have to take the positives, and we finished the group stage well, and I think that was important. But you're right to mention Beth Mead actually, because I think Beth Mead she's got quite a lot of stick this, well, not just this season, but I think over the last year or so. I think she has taken a lot of stick, and I think it's taken a very long time to really recover from that injury, and I think not only physically, but also maybe mentally for her as well. I think she's gone through quite a difficult time mentally all the way through her injury and her comeback, and obviously Viv leaving has added into it, what happened with her mum and stuff like that. She's had a tough time, Beth, and I think maybe we've been a little bit harsh, and not us necessarily, but I think people have maybe a little bit harsh on her sometimes, because she doesn't look as sort of fluid as she did before injury. She's not quite the same player she was before, but we probably shouldn't have expected her for that to happen. Now, as you rightly said, this season she's been good, and she seems to be getting better and better as the season's going on, and she's now starting to score some really important goals as well. And she's always good for a goal. We know that. She's always been a regular goal scorer for Arsenal, for England, and finally now I think maybe you have to give credit to maybe Renee as well for sticking by her when it wasn't going too well, when she was maybe struggling for her fall, and she's played her way back into, I wouldn't say her best, but she's probably as good as she can be right now. You look at the performances for the Lionesses as well in recent international games. She's played well for England as well. She's in a good run of form at the minute, Bev. And yes, obviously her age and stuff, she isn't necessarily the long-term future. No, absolutely not. But that doesn't matter. She's here now, and she's proving that she's still got a lot to offer the team. And I'm really happy for her, because she has had a tough time and it hasn't gone well for her. And we know what she is capable of, and she's starting to, I think she's maybe had to adapt the way she plays. She was never the quickest anyway, and she's maybe lost a little bit of that from her injury. But like you said, she is an intelligent player, and I think she's used that intelligence to adapt to her style of play slightly to compensate for what she's lost from the injury. And I think now we're starting to see the benefits of that, because I think she's playing so well. And yeah, the goal that she scored the other night was brilliant. And she scored a few goals like that when she cuts in on her left foot and curls it in the corner. She's done that so many times, and it never gets old watching her do it. So, but yeah, no, she deserves a lot of praise, Beth Mead, for the way she's been playing. Especially as she has received maybe some unfair criticism, and we've maybe done it as well over time, because maybe she set the standard so high that we kind of almost expect that to be the way she plays all the time. And unfortunately, due to various different circumstances, she's found that difficult to do. But she's getting back to her best, I say, and well done to her, because it has been tough. And yeah, I've been delighted with her performances, and another great goal, as you said. And yes, it was a really professional performance, wasn't it? Against a team that could have been a banana skin. Looking at their results previously, as we mentioned last week, that could have been a potential banana skin, that game. They kind of needed some points to guarantee they'd get in. As it turns out, they've got in the playoffs in the end anyway, but they couldn't have took that for granted. So they wasn't going into the game just thinking, it doesn't matter, we're through. They needed to try and get a result. So it was a good performance from Arsenal, and I thought from start to finish, really, we were in control of that game. We should have maybe scored a few more goals, if we're totally honest, especially in the first half. We seemed to have a few good chances that we didn't put away, and in the end, we did win comfortably. And it did that looked like my sort of stadium. Now I love little grounds like that, where it's nice. You feel like you're part of it. You're close to the pitch. It's a good atmosphere. The seat you had looked fantastic behind the goal, and that it just looked like a really good evening, actually. And obviously, like you said, we've got to go back again in is it January or February? Whenever it is, January, isn't it?
Early February.
Oh yeah. So we got to go back there again for the playoffs. And yeah, I'm pretty confident, certainly over two legs, that we should win that game without too many issues, hopefully. And of course, if we do beat Leuven in the playoffs, who is it that we play, Andreas? Because that's going to be slightly interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. If we go through against Leuven, and we are all convinced we will, then we'll face a team that never won the Champions League.
Yes.
Yeah. And
we can let them know that, can't we, as well?
Wouldn't it be nice if we end their dream this season? If it's us to end their dream, yeah. But anyway, it will be extremely hard, and we have the first leg at home and the second at Stamford Bridge. But anyway, it's in March, and so many things can happen till March. You don't know what we will be doing in the transfer window, and then depends who is injured for Chelsea, for us, who is fit, which player is in their best form. Also, it's too early to say anything. And first, make the first step against Leuven, and then concentrate on Chelsea. But anyway, it will be a fantastic quarterfinal for everybody. Of course, it's European football, and you would prefer to play a team from Europe and not another team from London. But that's the draw, and we have to take it. And will be exciting games if we face Chelsea then, and everything is possible.
Absolutely. And we saw from the game at the Emirates a few weeks ago that, if we turn up and play our game, we can beat them. We know we can. We should have beat them that particular day if it wasn't for some terrible decisions, as we know. So, yeah, I certainly this season, the way Chelsea have been playing, certainly recently, I wouldn't fear us playing them, certainly over two legs. I wouldn't fear them. Obviously, like you said, though, March is a long way off. Lots can change, form can change, injuries. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? So, as we stand right now, if we were playing Chelsea in the quarterfinal next week, we had two legs cut. I'd actually feel confident we could beat them over two legs at the moment. right this moment. But obviously the game's not till March and things will change, and Chelsea generally have a strong towards the end of the season, and you know we haven't always been. But it is interesting. We've still got a win a playoff, of course. Yeah, let's not take it for granted just because we've beaten them 3-0 the other night. It's a different game. It's a couple of months down the line. But yeah, it would be quite an amazing game against Chelsea, wouldn't it? Well, 2 amazing games against Chelsea, really, and it'll be something to look forward to and get excited about if that is the case. But we shall see. Terry says they're a great result against Everton, but we need to start putting teams away. We should have been at least 5 or 6 up. Yeah, you could have said the same the other night as well. We could have easily been 5 or 6 up. Terry says we still don't convert enough of our chances that we create. No, we don't. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't. You're right. And that's one of the things we do need to work on. We need to work on not conceding stupid goals as well, which we didn't the other night, but we have done quite regularly. We don't give enough clean sheets generally. So that's something we need to work on. Top Shelf says, I hear Leuven has a great Christmas market. Did you go, Andreas? Did you go to the Christmas market when you were there? Didn't you get time?
No chance. I could only head to the hotel and then by bus to the stadium and after the game back to the hotel. So no, I have seen the Christmas market and the day after the game when I walked to the railway station, I walked over the Christmas market. But the real atmosphere of a Christmas market is in the evening when it's dark, and I couldn't. The Deutsche Bahn prevented it with the 3 hours delay.
Oh, good stuff. Top Shelf says, it looks like the team is getting healthy. Yeah, we're starting to get players back fit, and that's always a positive. Just as we have a break as well. We're getting all our players fit, and now we've got no games for a few weeks, which is a bit of a shame. But at least they've got a more chance to build up their fitness, I suppose. Andreas says, a good draw for Arsenal, road to final open. Well, I don't know about open, but, we know, and we showed last season, we're good enough to beat anybody on our day. We are, even though this season hasn't been great in terms of our performances, we know on a one-off game, if we turn up and play our best, we can beat anybody in that competition, I think. I wouldn't fancy our chances much over 2 legs against Barcelona, particularly. We beat them in a one-off game, and we could do that again if everything goes in our favour. But I don't worry about who we might play or who we might not play, really. If we play to our levels, other teams should be worried about us, because we're the holders of the competition for a start off. And we showed last season we beat the 2 best teams in semi-final and final. We beat the 2 best teams in Europe. So no one can really argue with it. And if we can knock Chelsea out, that means in the last 2 seasons, we'd have basically beat the top 3 teams in Europe: Lyon, Barcelona and Chelsea. I mean, come on. That shows what we can do. And that's what sometimes gets frustrating, I think, for me, particularly, is because I know what this team can do, and we don't do it often enough. And when we have a few average performances, you're thinking it's not good enough, because we know what we're capable of. And yes, we're not going to play like we did against Barcelona or the second leg against Lyon. We're not going to play like that every week, because nobody does. Barcelona don't play like that every week. But it's more about the consistency, isn't it? Getting those sort of performances more often than not. And that's the thing that's frustrating, because we all know, we've seen this team enough. We know what this team can do. We've seen it with our own eyes. So it's frustrating when we don't do it. So yeah, but I don't fear anyone. I'm excited for the Champions League, because we've got over 2 legs, particularly. We figured out last season, didn't we, how to win 2-leg ties, and we became really good at it. So I don't fear anyone. Honestly, I don't. So if it's Chelsea, it's Chelsea. If we have to play Lyon again, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. Barcelona, let's bring it on. Barcelona would be tough, obviously, but let's just do it. We got a great chance. And Top Shelf says Mead is great for the team. She's always in the mix. Yeah, that with Beth Mead, she's always likely to score a goal or create a goal every single game she plays. There's that possibility that she can do both of those things, and at the moment she's doing it regularly, which is great. But yeah, absolutely, I agree. Terry says, you're saying about me though, ain't all women mental? Well, they've got a bit of a screw loose maybe sometimes, but anyway, there you go. Agnes says, Terry, behind every successful man stands a surprised woman. That's probably true, actually. That is probably true. I agree with that. Lethal Chicken says, the C word is forbidden in my household. Oh, what C word was that we were talking about before? Anyway, there you go. Agneta says, Sam Kerr getting married New Year. We'll be flying on clouds January, Feb. Not worried about her. Yeah, but the game's not till March, so she might have come down back from her clouds by then. Who knows? Terry says, a bit of luck by the end of January. Salty may be in charge. Well, Agneta says the finals in Oslo. It is in Oslo, yeah. But yeah, it'd be quite an easy trip to, isn't it? From Sweden to Oslo. That's not that far, is it? Lethal Chicken says, I think on recent form, Arsenal are more of a tournament team. We need to be more consistent if we want to start winning the league. Yeah, no, I think we're more of a cup team. I agree. Yeah, I would say in a one-off cup game, you'd back us to beat most teams. But over the course of a league season, you're right. We haven't got that consistency, have we, to grind out those results week after week, which Chelsea have made an absolute habit of doing over the last few years, haven't they? Play terrible and still win, and do it week after week when they need to. We don't seem to be able to do that. We don't have that same level yet. Hopefully it will come, but you're right. I agree. I think we're a cup team, and we've proved, haven't we? We've won a cup in the last 3 seasons. We've lifted a cup. We've proved we're a cup team, and I'm sure we're going to do well in all the cups this season. It's just I want to see us. I expected us this season to add that more consistency in the league and really push on and challenge. And you know, okay, we're only halfway through the season. We could still potentially put some pressure on at the top again, and maybe Man City will crumble. But I don't know. Yeah, that is what's missing. That is what's missing, is that consistent level week after week in the league to grind out results when you need to. And if we can find a way to do that with our one-off game mentality that we seem to have, we can raise our game when we in those cup games, can't we? We've done it. We've beaten Chelsea in 2 finals in a row. We've beaten Barcelona in a final. You know what I mean? We've proved when in those big games, big one-off games, we can do it. We just don't seem to be able to do it when we're away to Brighton or somewhere in the league sometimes, or wherever it might be. Aston Villa at home, we can't seem to raise our level and win those games. And if you're going to win the league, that's what you have to do. That's what Chelsea do. Joe says, we play way too much football in the final third. Yeah, we do. I agree. We do. And sometimes we have to be more direct. And when we have been more direct, we've been effective. So we can do that. And sometimes we need to more. I agree. I do think we do play too much football in the final third. I agree with you. Triwell says, I've been to Oslo 4 times. Nice city, expensive, but nice people. Well, hopefully we'll be going again in May. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? The blue team see. Oh, of course, yeah, no, absolutely. We need to ban that name completely, actually. We just need to complete. Oh, we got a Chelsea fan with us. It's crazy that Chelsea could end up playing you up to 5 times in the second half of the season. FA Cup, Subway Cup, UEFA, and yeah, exactly. And Chelsea won't win any of them, so that's going to be a shame, isn't it? When Chelsea lose all 5 games against us, that'll be a shame for Chelsea, won't it? But you're right. We could potentially meet them in every competition. Absolutely, we could. Wouldn't be the first time, or Champions League, it wouldn't be the first time we keep meeting Chelsea in a big cup game, would it? So, you know, it's what it is. And if we have to play you 5 times, we'll be quite happy to do so and hopefully win most of them.
I think both teams have respect. Both teams have respect for each other, and that's important. I mean, we often say things about Chelsea or laugh about them, but overall, I think we all respect what they have done in the last years and what they have won over the years. And I saw the highlights from their game at Wolfsburg. They won 2-1. And I must say, how good is Lucy Bronze still? We talk a lot about Kim Little and how important she is with her 35 years. Lucy Bronze is, I think, 34, and she was massive against Wolfsburg and scored a goal and a cross from her. So yeah, she's still a fantastic player. And Sam Kerr scored a goal, so she's getting, yeah, as best me, she's getting back to form. So there's no reason to underestimate Chelsea. They are missing Natalie Bjorn for injury at the moment. She might be back, and yeah, it's a great team, and we have respect for them. But it's normal, the rivalry, and it's normal that we want to be at the better end. And of course, we are an Arsenal talk, and we are Arsenal supporters. So it's quite normal that we make jokes about Chelsea not having won the Champions League, or yeah, that it would be nice to throw them out of the Champions League. It's normal. But anyway, as I said, both teams have respect for each other. I think the Blues also have respect for us, and they are not happy to face us. I think they would have preferred another draw instead of drawing Arsenal. So yeah, that says all.
No, absolutely no. Of course, I mean, I don't particularly like Chelsea. I don't particularly like the way they play. I don't particularly like their attitude on the pitch and various other things. But you're right. You can't have anything other than respect for what they've achieved because it's been fantastic. Yes, okay, Emma Hayes is maybe was the mastermind behind a lot of it. That's true. But they've carried it on. They unbeaten league last season. They won everything apart from the Champions League. So of course we respect what they've done and what no doubt they'll continue to do. But they're the sort of games that you want to test yourself against, isn't it? It's all very well beating Everton and beating Leuven and all these other teams. It's great. We want to win as many games as we can. But it's when you play against teams like Chelsea and Lyon and Barcelona and Bayern Munich and the top teams, that's when you really learn about your team. I love playing against Chelsea. We don't often beat them, but we haven't done in recent years. Certainly not when it's really mattered. But I enjoy playing against them because it is a big rivalry. And it's an exciting game. There's more at stake because it's Chelsea. Even the other week, when we played in the league, we looked like we were out of the league title race anyway. It didn't matter. It was Chelsea, and we have to do everything we can to beat them because they're our biggest rival, and it makes it for a great game. And they're the best games of the season for me. They're the games I look forward to. And if we have got to play Chelsea 5 more times this season, that'd be fantastic for me. I'd love that. I hope we do play Chelsea 5 times. We won't win them all. I wouldn't imagine neither team will win all 5, but to play Chelsea 5 more times, that would be fantastic for me. I'd love to see that. It'd be brilliant, especially as they're likely to be later in the cup competitions, aren't they? If it's a Subway Cup, the final, for example, would be great. The FA Cup, it could be a semi-final or a final. Do you know what I mean? There'll be massive big games, and obviously Champions League is Champions League, so it'd be fantastic. It would. But no, you're right. There is a respect, a mutual respect. Chelsea definitely have massive respect for us because we've always gone about it in the right way from the start, and Chelsea will never have that history that we've had. They can create modern history now, which is great, but they'll never have what we've had. So they're always going to respect us, and maybe they've got a little bit of jealousy as well. I think Chelsea with us, definitely. We've got the fan base now, we've got the history, we've got everything that they wish they had. The only thing we've got that they've got that we wish we had is that success they've had on the pitch over the last 5, 6, 7 years. That's what we would have liked. But we can get that. They can't ever get our history. They'll never get that. And they'll never get our fan base, never. But we can get what they've got on the pitch. We've won the Champions League, so we've proved it that we can. And now we need to go on and knock them out a couple more cups. That's what we need to do. But let's see. It's exciting times anyway. I love playing Chelsea, so that'd be great. Chelmsford said, I think January and February will be crucial for all the top WSL teams. Any slip-ups could cost them the league or top 3 spot. Yeah, absolutely. It will be a big... And it's quite exciting, isn't it? Because there's 4 teams going after 3 places for a start-off, which is quite exciting. So every single game is important. Any team, like you said, a team drops 3 points, loses a game. If all the other rivals win, wow, that's a big defeat, isn't it? And it's, we've got the most pressure to a certain degree because we've given ourselves a lot to do. But it's exciting. It's what we want. It's much better when it's like that. Then you've got your top teams, your top 3 already sorted out and pulled away, and it's no contest. It's nice to have this, really. And even if we end up on the wrong side of it, it's going to be an exciting second half of the season, and that's what you need for women's football. That's what the WSL needs. It doesn't need one team to run away with everything. It doesn't need it to be, similar results all the time and not predictable. I mean, it's nice that we've got that little bit more jeopardy now in the WSL, and yeah, I much prefer it. And we just need to improve and work harder to make sure that we're not on the wrong end of it, and that we do minimum finish in the top 3, and that we do have good runs in all the cup competitions. The onus is on us to do that, isn't it? And let's hope that we do. Aglita says there's so much hate between Norway and... Is there? Oh, okay. Is it like England and Scotland, is it then? It maybe sounds a bit like that, maybe, which is good, isn't it? Lethal Chicken, so I look forward to Chelsea not winning the League Cup, given that this might be the last time they have the opportunity of getting the quadruple. Yeah, well, let's hope so. They won't win a quadruple anyway, so don't worry about that. They'll have to overcome us a couple of times, and they won't do that, will they? Agneta says, yes, Lucy is fantastic. I mean, obviously, what Lucy Bronze has achieved in football is remarkable, and there's no doubt about that. And she's still a good player. I don't know. I sometimes watch her play for the Lionesses, and I sometimes think she's reaching the end. she's reaching the end. You can almost feel it, and then suddenly she'll have 2 or 3 amazing games, as you did in the Euros, for example. And then you think, oh, actually, maybe. And the same with Chelsea. Every time we played Chelsea and Lucy Bronze has played last couple of years, she's got absolutely roasted by Caitlin Ford, and you think, oh, Lucy Bronze, she's past it now. And then suddenly she'll go and do what she did the other night, and you think, oh, actually, maybe she's not past it. she's a funny player now. I mean, she's a great, fantastic, obviously, but yeah. Lethal says, Lucy Bronze doesn't look like she's slowing down anytime soon. Well, no, she doesn't. I don't mean literally pace-wise, just in the sense of top-level football. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think pace-wise, she maybe is slowed down a little bit, to be fair. But I think you're right, her football brain and her... And it's not even just about that. It's when you reach a certain age in sport, it's a willingness to want to keep doing it at that top level. Because it's easy, isn't it? When you've achieved everything that Lucy Bronze has achieved, for example, international level, at club level, she's pretty much won everything it's possible to win. So what motivates her to keep doing it now at her age? She just think, no, I'm just going to put my feet up and I've done it all. What more can I do? And the fact that she's still got that motivation to keep going every week, turn up every day for training, push herself, that's an elite mentality. And you can't, you can have all the skills in the world. You can be the best technically gifted player in the world, but if you don't have that mentality, you'll never reach that top level. All the top players have got it, and Lucy Bronze is one of the biggest examples of that right now. Her mentality is incredible, and that's why she's still doing it, what she's doing at her age now. Still, she's still one of the most respected players in Europe, quite rightly so. But anyway, Terry says Bronze the best Chelsea pension in a while. Indeed, absolutely. Chelsea, I think City will drop points to Chelsea and Arsenal in the second half, so I'm not convinced they'll win the league for sure. Arsenal, City or Chelsea, anyone can win it. I kind of agree with you. I said the other week, City for me, yes, okay, it's slightly different this season maybe, but they always fall away towards the end of a season. Every season they did it. Do you remember a couple of years ago when they were almost going to win the league and they were 1-0 up against us with about 5 minutes to go, and that had virtually won them the league, and they conceded. Yes, okay, we won the game. It was brilliant, but they threw that game away, and they threw the league away, and they'll do it again. So I'm not overly worried about City at the moment. They're doing well, but I'm not overly. I still think they'll fall apart at the end of the season. So we just have to keep winning. As in Chelsea, I agree. I think any one of us three could win the league, absolutely, and let's hope it's us. But we've got a lot of work to do. Chelsea have as well, because they've dropped too many points. Tribar says if Renee is never going to play Jenna, we should release her and sign another midfielder in the window. Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if she's still here in the end of January window. I'll be amazed if she is. Just doesn't seem like she will. Andreas says, when will Bompasta learn to speak proper English? I mean, to be fair, I can't speak Spanish or French, so she's done all right, really. Do you know what I mean? But she can speak better English than a lot of English people. So, she's doing all right, really. Andreas says, sorry, but I think Man City will win. Well, they may do. I'm not convinced by them at all. So let's see. I hope it does. Srivar says Inspector Clouseau. Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, Inspector Clouseau. Yeah. Poirot. Oh, yeah, maybe Poirot. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. So there we go. Joe says Bronze is focused on one more thing, and that's the World Cup 27. Yeah, maybe that's what. Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe that is what's motivating her to keep going, because she wants to win that World Cup. It is the one thing that's missing, isn't it? I suppose from her CV, I suppose, is a World Cup. So yeah, maybe that's the one thing that's keeping her going, and that's good. Terence says they're not worried about City 8 titles in 10 years. No, we're talking about the women's team now, my friend, and the City's women's team haven't won 8 league titles in 10 years. I mean, the men's team, yeah, the Man City will definitely win the league, the Premier League. I've got no doubts about that. But in the WSL, they won't. So, yeah. Chelsea says Lucy's a warrior, and with Carpenter as a competitor, it's getting tough for Sonia to decide who to play. Yeah, but I mean, that's what top managers have to do, don't they? You have to have squad depth. Every top team needs squad depth, so he's not going to be moaning, I'm sure. Lethal Chicken says, talking about wanting to keep on doing it, I think we have seen that with Beth a lot in recent months, with the Euros Champions League, and with Chloe and Olivia coming in to compete for a start. Yeah, and again, maybe you're right. And I do think that, international competitions, especially for the Lioness now, because we're winning stuff, getting to finals, I think that the Lioness players who maybe are coming towards the end of their career maybe are more motivated to keep going, because they do want to stay in the England team. They do want to play in the World Cup. They want to try and win the World Cup, having missed out last time. So, Beth Mead missed out on a tournament completely. Leah Williamson missed out completely. These are players that are going to want to have got something to prove in that next World Cup. You're right, and same for Arsenal. We're signing players, and everyone needs to step up, don't they? To keep your place in that team, you've got to step up your performances, or you won't get as many minutes. So there we go. Terry says, yeah, footballers have a hard life, turning up to train every day, being fed and watered, and then making their own way home. Well, I don't think it's quite like that as much in women's football, is it? I think, yes, men's football, you're right, absolutely. They get everything done for them. And the women's football is becoming a bit more like that. But I'm not saying it's a hard life. It's a lot of pressure in their life, isn't it? They've got a lot of pressure because they're in the spotlight. And it is. I mean, I'm sure we'd all trade our jobs for being footballers in our lives. Absolutely, of course we would. There's no question about it. But I don't think it's an easy life to live in the spotlight, in that, whether it's in football, whether it's in music, whether it is. If you're in the spotlight all the time, I think it's tough. It's a tough life. You can't just go like we can just go wherever we want. We can go shopping. We can go to do whatever we want, and no one's going to bother us, really. I mean, obviously, Andreas is getting more famous from being on the vlogs and stuff, but most of the time we can go anywhere we like. We're not going to get pestered. But if you're living your life like that, you can't go anywhere. Footballers can't, the top footballers, like even the women's ones, but certainly any Premier League footballer can't go down their local pub or go anywhere. They're going to get mobbed, aren't they, everywhere they go? And it must be tough. You can't live a normal life. And I do think that's hard. Yes, the job itself isn't particularly hard necessarily. Running around playing football sounds like a lot of fun. We'd all love to do it. But I think there's more to it than that. I think there's a pressure that we wouldn't understand because we've not had to live through that ourselves. And I do think it's tough. And that's why so many footballers, ex-footballers, end up getting a lot of problems in their personal life, don't they, with addictions and alcohol and drugs and gambling and all that sort of stuff because of the pressure. And it's tough. Let's be honest, it is tough. But yeah, we'd all love that opportunity. I'm sure we would. Agnes says men are paid way too much. Well, they're paid a lot of money. They are. Are they paid too much when you look at the money that the Premier League generates? I don't know. They paid a lot of money. They are paid a lot of money, but I don't know. It's all relative, I suppose. Chelp says, personally, I think Chloe Kelly is more of a bench player. Ooh, and she seems comfortable with that since she's also a bench player for England. She should be fired down at Arsenal. Well, I don't think she's comfortable being a bench player, Chloe Kelly, at all. I don't think she is. I don't think anybody is. And if you're comfortable being a bench player, you shouldn't be playing at a top level. Every single player who's playing at a top level should want to be in the first 11 every single week. And you should be really angry and annoyed that you're not. And I think Chloe Kelly is definitely that sort of player for me. She doesn't want to be on the bench. Absolutely not. And I think she's good enough not to be on the bench for England or for Arsenal. But you've got to earn that right. You've got to keep doing the job. You've got to turn up. You've got to play. And you've got to be consistent. And maybe that's something that she's sometimes not always been able to do. She's been a bit hit and miss with her performances. Terry says, how can it be a hard life? I remember a time they all used to go around Lordy's house during the week. Oh, they still do. But, it's still, that's a hard life, isn't it? But anyway. So, yeah, I mean, the Champions League is looking exciting, isn't it, going forward? And, in fact, the whole season's looking quite exciting at the minute with all the competition we've got, the World Club Championship thing that we've got coming up, obviously. We've got the Champions League playoffs. We've got the quarter-final first against Crystal Palace, which we'll talk about in a minute, which I'm sure we'll probably win. And then, of course, the FA Cup will be starting in January as well. So we've got a decent enough draw in that as well, haven't we? So that's going to be quite interesting, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. So, yeah, of course, it is. We do have one more game left in 2025. Of course, 2025 has been a very good year for Arsenal. And we're going to finish it, hopefully, in style at the weekend. So we've got obviously Crystal Palace in the quarterfinal of the Subway Cup, which obviously is a game we should win fairly comfortably. I would expect some changes in the team. Maybe some players that has been on the bench to start this game. Stina, for example, maybe Leah Williamson, be a good opportunity to give her a start when she's got minutes under her belt and stuff like that. So I do think there'll be some changes to the team, and that should be the right thing because it's the opportunity to give some players more minutes on the pitch. So I hope there is some changes in the team, and I expect to see quite a few. But either way, I do expect to see a a victory, a fairly comfortable victory. I mean, Andreas, it's a nice game to finish the year with, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Hopefully, yes. And normally our B team should be good enough to beat Crystal Palace. It's the only WSL2 team that remains in the competition, and this time we were lucky with a draw. Yes, it offers the chance to rotate and give minutes to players who haven't got a lot of minutes. I think maybe Leah won't start, but she will come on in second half, or if she starts, then she can play only 45 minutes maybe. But anyway, it's another chance for her to get minutes under her belt. And I think if she has recovered from illness, then Vicky Pelova might start. Also, Stina probably will lead the line, and maybe Laia Codina will get minutes. And so, I expect rotation. And but anyway, we should be too strong for Crystal Palace. Even if if we rotate a lot, and we will play a team that hasn't played together, we should be strong enough. And then we won't score 6 or 7 goals. But anyway, it's a cup game, and it counts that you win and go through to the next round. And anything less than a decent win would be a big surprise. And so no, I think the way we played in the last games, and how focused we were, how concentrated we were against Everton and Leuven. So I'm really optimistic that no matter who starts, we will win the game. And I say we will win 3-0, and maybe we'll be up 2-0 at halftime, score an early third, and then it won't be the best game then. But let's say 3-0 to the Arsenal, and a good way to celebrate Christmas then, with being through to the semi-final in the League Cup.
Yeah, exactly. We need to keep this momentum going that we've built up in the last few weeks and go into the break on a massive fire. I mean, it would be, let's be honest, I think it would be a major shock. Not if Arsenal don't win. I fully expect Arsenal to win, but I think it would be quite a shock if we don't win the game very comfortably. You're saying 3-0, and that would be great. I'm expecting us to win by more than 3-0. I do think we can score 6 or 7. I really do. I think we've got the players to do it, and I think Crystal Palace will give everything. I'm sure they will, but we will have much too much for them. I've got no doubt about that. And I think I'm going to go 6-0. I do think in the end, I think we'll overwhelm them. It might be 3 or 4 goals in the last 10 minutes when they run out of legs a little bit. But I do think we'll win. I think we'll be in control of the game from the start. I think we're scoring a lot of goals at the minute. We're taking shots from outside the box more, which we wasn't doing earlier in the season. And I think it's going to be an enjoyable game from our point of view. And I expect us to win very comfortably in the end, and obviously get through to that semi-final, which is going to be exciting as well, isn't it? LG Driver said, "Evening guys, I've just tuned in, just landed for holiday in Cape Town. Oh, lovely! What a place to spend Christmas. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Glad that you've managed to join us as well, which is always good to see." Agnes says, "No white Christmas for LG." No, I don't suppose it will be a white Christmas, will it, in Cape Town? I would imagine. Oh, Andreas has disappeared briefly. Where's Andreas gone? I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. Anyway, we'll carry on for now. Joe says, "Can I ask the Lord how he became an Arsenal women's fan and also a Lionesses fan? It's a long distance love affair for sure." Well, when he comes back in, we'll ask him that very question. So we'll hold fire with that then until he's back. LG says, "Olivia Smith is the best football player in the world. I'm being serious. I don't do ifs, buts, or maybes. I do as well." I mean, at the moment she's playing really well, isn't she? And there we go. Andreas is back. Here we go. Look, so that's good. So anyway, there's a question here for you from Joe. She says, "Can I ask the Lord how he became an Arsenal women's fan and also a Lionesses fan? It's a long distance love affair for sure." It certainly is. So go on, Andreas. I'll answer Joe the answer to that question.
Yeah, I said before, in football, you don't choose a team; it chooses you. And this happened, and the connection I've got with the team or with the supporters, this made me even fall more in love with Arsenal. And then I watched the Lionesses. A lot of Arsenal players are playing for the Lionesses, and I feel more at home at Arsenal. And personally, I have relatives in the UK, in Yorkshire. So I always have had this connection with England or with the UK, and the way the supporters act, and we are all one family, and it's different than in Germany, and the atmosphere in the stadiums, the way football is in everybody in the community. It's different than in Germany. It's everybody loves football, and I feel like a part of a family, of the Arsenal family, and this was growing in the last years. And so for me, it's Arsenal first, and the Lionesses then first in international football. That's a fact. There's no real explanation for it. As I said, the team chooses you, and you fall in love with the team, and you can't change it. It happens, and then it stays for the rest of your life.
Exactly. You're right, absolutely, and I think you're right. I don't think many people choose the team they want to support today. It doesn't work like that, really. It's your team, and that's it. There's, like you said, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just one of those things that happens. And I suppose in the sense that we're lucky that it happens to be Arsenal and not, say, Spurs, for example, or someone rubbish. It's better that it's a good team and a club that you can actually, enjoy. But I mean, I suppose it's the same for everybody, really, isn't it? I suppose a lot of people, it's their local team and stuff like that. I suppose as well that plays a part often, doesn't it, if it's your local team? But there's all sorts of reasons, isn't it, that a club ends up being your club, and that's the way it is, isn't it? And it's great. So that's just fantastic. So everyone says, when is DVD back? Well, hopefully after Christmas in the new year. A bit of luck if all goes well. Hopefully, because we've been without her too long already. Leuven Jinx, I hope there aren't too many changes. Remember what happened against Villa last season when Renault made a lot of changes in the game? We should have won comfortably. Yeah, I think the difference with that one was, though, we had a big Champions League final to come a few weeks later, and I think that was, whereas in this game we've got nothing to worry about. We can make changes, and we're not making changes because we're resting players for a big game coming up. We're making changes to give players minutes on the pitch to help them moving forward in the season and stuff like that. So I think the circumstances, you're right, making lots of changes can sometimes cause disruption and lead to a poor performance. But as Andreas said before, our B team should be far too strong for Crystal Palace. Anyway, we can't make 11 changes because we've only got one goalkeeper really at the minute, but we could make 10 outfield changes potentially from the last couple of games, and we still should be far too strong for Palace and win the game. But the important thing for me is getting the minutes on the pitch for these players, because there isn't a game for a few weeks because of the Christmas break. So we won't have any momentum built up. So you might as well give these players an opportunity to play in a game that we should win, and then that'll be good management of this game. I think I'll be quite disappointed if it's 8 or 9 of the same players who played the last few games played again. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see a lot of the players who've been on the bench not really playing, getting minutes and getting starts here. Leia Cadena, as we mentioned, obviously Stina, maybe Caitlin Fall's not started many games lately. Maybe she could start at the game, or and just shuffle it around a little bit. We've got players to do it, haven't we? We've got the squad of players to do it. Vicky Plover, as we said before. So let's get those players. Let's get those players started, I think. But we shall see. Chelmer says, LG, no, you're absolutely wrong. Alessa Thompson is better than Smith. Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Interesting debate. It's good that we've got that debate in the WSL. Agnes says, Crystal Palace says, Mike Cato. Oh, Mike, is that one of their players? Is it? Right, okay. Good stuff. Lethal Chicken says, we don't know for sure, but I think and hope Borba won't be needed after Palace. Yeah, exactly. I think that's, fair enough. She's done all right, Borba, actually, really. She hasn't been tested massively in the game so far, and she still managed to let in a couple of goals. But yeah, let's hope she isn't needed. No disrespect to her. I'd much rather have DVD in goal because she's much better. So let's hope she's fit and she can get back in the team. Agnes says Arsenal 4. You think Palace will score? Okay, well, fair enough. Maybe they will. But yeah, I think we'll score a few ourselves. Top shelves, I've loved Smitty, but De Mornay from Olympic Lyon is off the charts. Yeah, I mean, there's some great players out there. I wouldn't necessarily say Olivia Smith's the best player in the world, not yet. In the future, she could be, absolutely. She's got the potential. At the moment, I would say no. I think there's much better players out there at the moment currently. And yeah, De Mornay is one of those players, absolutely. Agneta says, Crystal Palace says, Risha Littlejohn. Isn't she still suspended, though? Because didn't she get like is she still suspended?
Yes, she can't play against us.
She's got
suspension of 5 games, and I think this one was the third, as far as I know. So she can't play.
No, I didn't think she could because she did that wrestle. She was wrestling with one of the players from the team the other week. That was hilarious, actually. I saw the clip of that, and I watched it about 10 times. It was just so funny. Why would you do that? It just seems crazy. Anyway, Lethal Chicken says she has a 5-match ban and not finished it. Yeah, I didn't think she'd finished it yet. Yeah, that's quite funny. Terry says if Palace score, it's a bad day. This should be a walk in the park. Yeah, of course it should. I agree with that. And I don't think Palace will score, but you never know. Joe says, I think a big score too. The problem for a championship side is the difference in fitness in the second half and how much not having the ball takes out. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen it plenty of times, haven't we? We've played a few championship teams in cup competitions in recent years. And for sometimes 50, 60, 70 minutes, the game's reasonably close. Or not close, the score's close. We've dominated. And then, you're right, the fitness kicks in. We've got players off the bench that we can bring on, like world international players. And the other team in the championship haven't got them players they can bring off the bench. And that makes a difference. So that's why I think in the end of this game, I think last 10, 15 minutes, we'll score a few more goals for that very reason. And we've done it before in plenty of times against similar sort of teams. And you're right. That is the biggest difference. And that's why when teams come up from the championship, they struggle in the WSL because of that very reason until they can establish themselves and start getting some better players in and get a bit more money and stuff. Chelma says, I think Smith's dribbling is easier to defend compared to Thompson. Smith relies more on strength and pace, whereas Thompson also has pace, but he's unpredictable. You never know what she'll do next. Well, I think Smith's quite unpredictable, actually. Really, she's the one player in our team. If you look at our team, we are quite predictable. Most of our players are quite predictable. You almost know what they're going to do. You can't always stop them because they're very good at it, but we are quite predictable. And I think Olivia Smith's the one player in our team who isn't predictable. She pops up and does things that no one else does in the team. And I think that's one of her biggest strengths, actually. Yeah, her dribbling is fantastic as well. I mean, you're saying it's easy to defend. I don't think it is. If it was easy to defend, she wouldn't be dribbling past 5 players and scoring a goal every week. You know, so it's not easy to defend, is it? I mean, Thompson's a great player, don't get me wrong. And it's a nice comparison to have because they're both very good players and they're both playing in the WSL. It's great. And who's better at the moment, I don't know. I think right at this moment in time, the last 3 or 4 games, I think Olivia Smith's better. Because look at what she's been doing. Look at. I'm not saying Thompson hasn't been doing well, but Chelsea are struggling a bit at the moment, aren't they? We're finally starting to find some form. So at the moment, I'd say Smith is just edging it right now. Joe says, well, we're lucky to have you, Lordy. Indeed, of course we are, absolutely. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? So there you go. Agneta says, Frida, yeah, I think maybe Frida will play. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about her, but yeah, I think she might play as well. Chelma says, Olivia Smith and Thompson are good, but they're not world class yet. Players like De Mornay and Pina are on that level. Yeah, they're not world class yet. No, absolutely not. But its potential's there, isn't it? And that's all you can hope for, really. LG says, I don't care if anyone says Olivia Smith is the best footballer in the world. No, I'm glad you're sticking by it, my friend. I'm glad that you're sticking with that, and that's fine. She's a great player. We love her. But anyway, you know, she's got work to do to become the best player in the world. But who knows? It's possible. And that's the main thing. Terry says, congrats to Ajimang. By the way, yeah, just in case you're not aware, Michelle Ajimang did win the Young Sports Personality of the Year last night, which was good. You know, obviously for her exploits in the Euros as much as anything else. And so, yeah, well done to her indeed. She's had a good year. Obviously, it's not ended particularly well for her because she's out with this terrible injury. But it's certainly a year where people now know who Michelle Ajimang is, when before they didn't. So it's been a big breakthrough year. And I'm sure big things are to come for her in the future. And, of course, it was a good night, wasn't it? Because Thierry Henry won the Lifetime Achievement Award as well, which of course he deserves because he's one of the greatest footballers ever. Talking about the best player in the world, I think there was a time when Thierry Henry was definitely the best player in the world for a couple of years back in 20 odd years ago. Agnes says Bunny Shaw. No, not Bunny Shaw. No, we're not having Bunny Shaw. Not at all. We don't like Bunny Shaw. So yeah, Crystal Palace Schools will be our last game of 2025. And what we are going to do is, it won't be next week because next Friday is, of course, Boxing Day, and I'm sure we'll all be busy with Christmassy stuff. But the week after, maybe into the first show of 2026, what we're going to do is we're going to have a proper review of 2025, the highs and the lows and all the good and the bad. But before that, what I thought we'll do is, for a Christmas, like I suppose a Christmas special, we can call it, we are going to look back on maybe what will always be the biggest memory of the year. So yeah, I think, this time last year we would have been sitting here doing a show, and we would not even have considered the possibility that Arsenal would could even win the Champions League. We wasn't even thinking about that. So that was an incredible series of games, really, wasn't it? From the knockout stage, the second legs, the comebacks against Madrid and then Lyon, and of course the final, which that performance on its own, that 90 minutes was almost flawless from Arsenal. Absolutely every single player who played in that game, the starting 11, the substitutes, the management, the coaching staff, everybody, everything was right, wasn't it? It all came together in that one-off game. And we could play Barcelona, and I know I mentioned before I'm not scared of playing them, but we could probably play Barcelona in the Champions League final 10 times, and that would be the only one that we win when it mattered. And we'll probably never do it again. I mean, it doesn't matter if we do it again or not, really. We did it when it mattered on that particular day. Everything went our favour. Yeah, Barcelona missed some chances that maybe they'd have scored. We defended for our lives. And then when it mattered, we brought on the player who's done it for us so many times and scored the winning goal. And, just in a moment that none of us would, I say, this time last year, I wouldn't even have dreamed. I never even thought it was possible. We were, we were in a good run of form at the end of last year. We were winning games. We were on that good run, wasn't we? With Rene, she hadn't even got offered a job full time at this point still, I don't think, by Christmas. We were building up some momentum. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Andreas, you was at the final, and I mean, that has to be one of the greatest moments in Arsenal. Not just for the women's team, but Arsenal as a football club, for the men as well. That has to be one of the greatest moments ever for the football club, I think. It was just incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really, as a supporter, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I don't want to miss or change this weekend in Lisbon. This was just fantastic. And I'm so happy that I decided to travel to Lisbon despite the extraordinary flight prices. I remember that I was thinking, should I go? Is it worth to pay £400 for a flight to Lisbon for a final, which we are probably going to lose? And then, yeah, this was going through my mind. And then the next day, I thought, okay, maybe we'll never reach a Champions League final again in my active supporters time, so I go. And fantastic, the whole weekend with fantastic weather, then the fan zone and meeting so many other supporters, the celebration before at Pink Street, where all the Arsenal supporters came together, and the game itself, fantastic performance, and then celebrating with the team. And I will forever remember all the game and all these moments. And after the game, when the team was singing North London Forever with the supporters, you could see how proud every player was, especially Leah and Lotta, these Gunners for life. And it's an experience you can't take it away, neither from the team nor from us supporters. It's forever in our mind, and I'm so thankful that I was there in Lisbon and could experience this with the team. Fantastic, and the performance from the team was just perfect. When it mattered, it was perfect. Every player was on top for these 97 minutes, and great memories perfect moment in the year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the perfect moment, not only in a year, probably ever. Like you said, I mean, it is one of them. It is one of them moments that will live forever because it was, yeah, incredible. And what I liked most about it, and I think you're right, that you know, obviously we won the Champions League under its previous kind of incarnation back in 2007, when it wasn't anywhere near the competition it is now. So to have won it in the modern era, and I think, you know, the fact that we have over the last 3 or 4 years, you know, we've been getting the crowds we've been getting at the Emirates, you know, sellouts that would never thought were possible. We've been the club that's been leading the way, haven't we, in women's football in this country? We've been leading the way off the pitch, certainly, with the way that the club marketed the women's game, the way that we really cashed in on that Euro success in 2022 and have really pushed on as a club, you know, with the support and everything else. And I think that was almost the accumulation of all of that hard work that's gone in the club off the pitch as well. You know, the supporters, the staff, the players. And some of those players, like I said, Leah Williamson, and, you know, lots of the players that's grown up, for them to have been able to experience that, you know, winning the Champions League. Oh, have we disappeared? Oh, there we go. I don't know what's happening. There's a big signal gone. What's happening? But yeah, so, you know, for them playing, that's what made. Oh, my signal going again. What's going on? What is going on?
I can see you.
Is that... Well,
can you still see me?
I don't know if it's working or not. Not sure. Yeah, I think my laptop's just having a bit of a mental time.
Yeah, now Richard disappeared. Yeah, I hope he'll be back soon. Yeah, we were talking about Lisbon and this fantastic weekend, and yeah, I met so many supporters, and even the day after, I made this tour with a tuk-tuk through Lisbon and met Arsenal supporters everywhere. There were the red shirts, and yeah, even the Portuguese people on the streets, they saw us with Arsenal shirts and were waving to us and say congratulations or something like that. Yeah, it was just a weekend to remember forever, and yeah, fantastic. And the performance from the team, we said it. Every player was on top. I think the way we defended, all 11 players defended well, and everybody gave their everything. So yeah, it was fantastic, and the way to Lisbon was also great. I remember the 3-0 at home against Real Madrid was one of the best atmosphere I ever had in at the Emirates. Fantastic when we scored 5 goals in the second half. So let's hope that Richard is back. At the moment, there is only a black screen, Richard. We can't see you. Can you hear me? I think he's still working on his technical problems on the laptop. Yeah, of course, it would be nice to experience this again in Oslo in May 26. But anyway, it will be a difficult way. But yeah, let's take one step after the other, and it seems as if the team is growing and things are getting better. We'll get Daphne back in January. We'll get Chloe hopefully back in January. I think we are really missing Chloe because she's the one who stays on the wing, who brings the crosses in. So if we have all our injured players back, and yeah, and the midfield is finding form with Kyra and Kim, and yeah, so things develop, and Richard is back. So I hope enough now. Well, welcome back. Come back.
I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, it just seemed like my laptop's pretty much packed in. I think it's packing in again. So I think Santa needs to get me a new laptop for Christmas. So if Santa's out there listening, you can drop a laptop down my chimney, mate. That would be very much appreciated, because this one seems to be on its final legs. But yeah, no, I mean, that was just an amazing achievement for everybody at the club, and I think we're the club that deserve that as well. Like I said, for the work we've put in, we've been the trailblazers really for women's football, and for us to have experienced that, I think is fantastic. But yeah, you know, 2025 will be.
The boss is gone again. Oh. Yeah, he should really get a new laptop at Christmas, so things work better. But technical problems sometimes happen. Yeah, you can't do anything against it. Let's hope we have at least good 2026 as we had 25. Everything to play for. I don't think we'll win the league, but we should qualify for Champions League again. We have the domestic cups, and end of January this Champions Cup, FIFA Champions Cup. What's a Club World Cup. And we are facing the team from Morocco in the semi-finals in Brentford. I've got my ticket already. And then hopefully in the final, we will face Gotham, the current US champions, at the Emirates. So it will be a home game. And I've got a ticket there too for the third place match and for the final. It will be held on 1st February. Let's see. I think we should be strong enough to beat the team from Morocco. And Gotham is, of course, favored against whom are they playing? Or was it team from Corinthians or something like that? South America. Yeah, let's see. It's the first time that this Champions Cup is held for the women's, and it's great that we qualified by winning the Champions League for it, and will be interesting tournament in end of January, and our host is back. I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, to be honest with you. But anyway, we're here for the time being. But no, I do need a new laptop for Christmas, as Agneta says there. Yeah, that's what Santa needs to bring me, definitely. And it needs to be a better laptop than this one, which, to be fair, I've had this one for about 5 or 6 years, so maybe it is about time it...
Yeah. And now he's frozen. Is Richard frozen, or oh yeah, he's gone again. I hope our viewers are still here, and yeah, I know you would prefer to see Richard and hear his opinion. And now it's only me talking all the time and trying to say to discuss interesting things. Okay, I spoke about the Champions Cup, and then in March, hopefully, we'll see the quarterfinals of the Champions League, with the first leg at home and the second at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, difficult task, but as Richard said before, these are the games we want to see as supporters. We want our team to play the best teams of the league or of Europe. And last Champions League season showed that everything is possible, and the games against Madrid or Lyon, and of course the final, showed that the team, or what the team is possible to do and to reach it. It's just fantastic. So if you finish fourth in the league and you're not qualified for the Champions League, that's terrible. So this must be our aim, to reach the Champions League again, because we can't rely on winning the tournament and have a go through to the league phase again. Maybe, but it will be difficult. Yeah, interesting weeks to come. and we're still waiting for Richard to come back. What will the January transfer window bring? This is another interesting subject. I think we have to do business because we have the eldest squad in the league, and we missed the chance to bring new younger players. There's only Olivia Smith coming in, who's 21. We didn't sign any other young players. So if Tim Stillman is right, then we will sign Smilla Holmberg from Sweden, the fullback. And of course, Jenna Neiswanger will leave. I think she will go back to the NWSL, to the States. Will we do more business? I hope we will sign a holding midfielder, because we missed the chance to sign a replacement for Wally. This will be an important task in the transfer window. And now with a green background, Richard is back.
It won't let me put the picture on the background either, so I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, there seems to be a few issues going on currently with my laptop and stuff. But anyway, I've kind of come back in, so we'll see if I can. I don't know whether or not having the picture behind was draining the memory or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's not worry about that now. It's done. But yes, I do need a new laptop for Christmas, Santa. I know I've got your hat on, but yeah, if you are watching, do send me a laptop, please. That'd be great. So yes, I mean that is. You know, no matter what else 2025 has brought everybody out there this year, I think the one thing it will always be remembered for is that fantastic night in Lisbon, day in Lisbon, where, you know, we did what seemed impossible. So, you know, that has made this a great year, really. Everything else that's gone on, you know, it almost pales into insignificance in some ways. We won the Champions League against all the odds. The modern era of fans who maybe missed 2007, and the players that have come through the club who wasn't playing then have now managed to experience that. We've all managed to experience it, and I think that's fantastic. And yeah, while it's a great memory, a fantastic memory that will never be taken away, I've said it before, we need this. We need to build on this. You know, we need it. We need that to be a platform, and it still could be. You know, the season's been disappointing so far. Maybe a little bit of hangover from that, not from that day in Lisbon. Maybe it's difficult, isn't it, when you've won that competition, to follow it up and do it again and do it again. And I don't know whether or not we've suffered a little bit, but let's hope that 2026 can bring us some memories that are, if not quite as good, maybe not far away. And of course, you know, it was a great summer in there, wasn't it, when the Lionesses winning the Euros as well. So we've had quite a good year, really, haven't we? Overall, 2025 not been too bad, has it? Let's be honest. It's Andreas says it's the magic hat. Yeah, that's maybe what it is. I was a bit worried about it. I'm thinking, is it the hat that's causing? Maybe the hat's like interfering with a signal or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what's happened. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a hat. That's what it is, definitely. Anyway, Joe said, with these Champions League games in March, does that clash with the Asia Cup? Do we have the Aussie girls for those games? When is the Asia Cup actually? It will be around about that time, won't it?
Asia Cup is February.
Yeah, because it's just after that other thing, isn't it?
We should have them back, and I think it could be a problem for the first leg with the if Australia reaches the final. But if we are going to miss our Aussies, then Chelsea will miss Sam Kerr and Ellie Carpenter, because they are in the Australian team as well. So if I'm right, it's only the first leg that could be affected from Australia reaching the final of the Asia Cup. Maybe they will go out earlier, and then there's no problem. All 5 players will be back then.
Maybe they should go out early on purpose, like throw the game, just lose. Because the Champions League is more important, let's be honest. No one cares about the Asia Cup, though, let's be honest. No one cares. It's all about the Champions League and the WSL, isn't it? And the Euros. No one cares about the Asia Cup. So, yeah, it may have some impact then. But, yeah, Lethal Chicken says Asia Cup is the 1st to the 21st of March. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, look, we've got a squad. And if we happen to lose the 3 Aussies because they're over there, they're over there. We have to cope. That's the way it is. That's football, isn't it? You know, player can get injured. We could lose players for injury, and we've got to cope, haven't we? We can lose players to the Asia Cup. You've got to cope. You know, that's the way it is. And if that's the way it goes, and they're not able to play, they're not able to play. We find 11 players who can play and do well and represent the club in the right way. So, yeah, I'm not overly concerned. Yes, we'd miss them, of course. They're 3 good players in our squad, but you know, at the end of the day, that's the way it goes. And like you said, Chelsea will have players missing as well. So, but let's see what happens. But anyway, I'm not too worried about the Asia Cup. I'm worried about the exciting things that's coming up in 2026 because we've got so much still to play for, haven't we? In the league still, there's lots up for grabs there, and of course 4 cup competitions which we can win. Let's try and win a couple of them at least, shall we? That'd be nice, wouldn't it, for 2026? We're probably not going to be at a top 2025 really, unless we do it again, I suppose. So let's do what we can and still make 2026 a memorable year. You know, we've won a couple last 3 seasons. Let's make it 4 in a row, shall we? Let's go and win another one, and that would be really good. So yeah, all to play for still, and I'm feeling a lot more optimistic now. You know, 2025 might be finishing, but 2026 could be another really exciting year for us. Again, let's hope so, because yeah, there's so much still to look forward to, isn't it? But not the Asia Cup, because we don't care. But yeah, so 2025 has been a memorable year, really, hasn't it? And we will do a full review of the year in January the 2nd. We'll do that just because it's Boxing Day next Friday, and you know there'll be stuff going on. Are you available on the 2nd of January, or are you travelling about somewhere?
Let me just check. I think yes. Yeah. 2nd of January is okay for me, yes.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, so we'll do it then. We'll do the 2025 year review. I'm sure that the Champions League final might get a mention. Some of those games on the way to the final might get a mention. But it's been quite a momentous year really for women's football in this country. Not just for Arsenal, I say England as well. So there's lots to look back on, lots to be to enjoy. So we'll do that in 2 weeks' time, and then of course we'll be back once the season is back underway again in January. It's Man United's the first game, isn't it, that we've got as well, coming straight back into it all, which is going to be a tough one, but an exciting game to come back into. So we'll look forward to that as well. And it says, in Renee we trust. Well, you know, I know you have trust in her. That's good. I'm still not totally convinced, but, you know, we can't really complain too much about what she's done so far overall. There's been some disappointments, of course there has, but, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and yeah, we'll see how 2026 plays out for her, for us, and for everybody. So yeah, it's been obviously. I think we've had a few changes on the tail this year, throughout this year, and I think that you know there'll probably be more changes to come as well. I've maybe taken a bit more of a backseat away from it slightly, just because the time factor. I've got other stuff I do now, and it's not always. I don't always have as much time to do the games as before, and some of the games I've been missing. I don't know if I can do Sunday's game yet. I'm hoping I can, but I don't know yet. So there's a few other things going on. I'm not able to maybe put as much time into this as I used to be able to do. That may change, but for the time being, you know, we'll keep going, obviously, but we'll still do our weekly show, and I'll still bring you the games that I can. Obviously, most of them. There's just going to be the odd games here and there that I'm not able to do. It just seems that the 12 o'clock kickoffs have happened on a Saturday, which are no good to me, so that we've missed all of that. But so stick with us, and I'm glad you have stuck with us. It's always great when we do the show. We get all the comments in from you guys, which is always great. When I do the matches, there's always loads of comments in, loads of people watching. So there is, you know, it's a great little community out there that we're not going to lose any of that. It's just, you know, I may not always be able to do as many games as I could before. But anyway, so it's been a good year now, hasn't it, overall? And I say we'll have a big show for that one in a couple of weeks' time. Andreas, of course, always great to see. Have you enjoyed our final? Have you enjoyed 2025? Have you enjoyed our final show of 2025 before Christmas as well?
Yeah, I enjoyed the show, and I enjoyed being part of the show for the whole year. It's just great, and I'm thankful for the opportunity you gave me, and that my name is now in the title of this talk is just amazing for me. Yeah, I love to discuss and talk about the Arsenal women, and yeah, I hope that our viewers enjoy my matchday vlogs. It's always the try to bring the atmosphere to the people who are not in the stadium. And yeah, for me, it's just fantastic to meet all the supporters and some viewers. Yeah, Greg or Vicky P. I was standing in the queue waiting to the gates to open in Leuven in Belgium, and someone was standing near me and looked at me and said, "Ah, you are Andreas." And that's fantastic. I mean, I travel from Germany to Belgium, and a supporter from London recognizes me there. So it's just amazing, and I love to be a part of this show, and hope you will continue. I will try to give as much input as possible, and I'm glad for everyone who watches my vlogs or is interesting in what I have to say about our team. Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, the vlogs are fantastic, and I think they really do give a good insight into the match day experience for people that aren't able to go, and I think that's really important, and it's great. And yeah, they've become a really important part of the channel, actually, particularly this season. You know, there's been some great vlogs, some great places you've been to as well. You know, these away games in Europe, fantastic. So yeah, it's really been a good addition, really, and I say the fact that that's growing as well. And you know, I think the audience that we get is really good as well. You know, you guys are always here for the shows and all that kind of stuff. So you know, we couldn't do it without all you guys being part of it. And you know, it's nice. You know, Andreas is getting recognised. I'm sure there's loads more people out there that will know who you are now from being on the show and stuff like that, which is good. So it's what it's all about. It. John says, I've not written off the Premier League yet. Let's beat City and Chelsea and hope Chelsea beat City. That would second and 2 points. But yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think it's over. I agree with you. I don't think it's over yet. I think Chelsea's recent collapse in form has helped us a little bit because it's pushed us right back in there. And I still think City will lose games. And like you said, if we can beat them, if Chelsea can beat them, they then draw. Or no, maybe you're right. We beat Chelsea and City then draw with Chelsea. Then yeah, maybe that's what we need. Or maybe Chelsea beat City and then Chelsea will end up doing something stupid and we'll beat them. Terry says, Lordy, you're part of the furniture now. Indeed, he absolutely is part of the furniture, there's no doubt. Almost as much as the furniture as you are yourself, Terry. That's how it is. And it's good to have you back, actually, as well, Terry, by the way, because I know you've been absent for a lot of the season, so it's good to have you back the last few weeks. So yeah, that's it then for, well, it'll be it for 2025, actually. Our next show will be in 2026. Wow, can you believe that? What incredible how quickly this year's gone, isn't it, really? I mean, it seems like only yesterday we were looking forward to 2025, and now we've finished with 2025 and 2026 on its way. Incredible. So yeah, we will see you in 2026. Do have a great Christmas, everyone. You know, whatever it is that you do, however you choose to celebrate it, that is brilliant. Enjoy it. You know, whether it's with your family, whether you're going down the pub, whatever you do, enjoy Christmas. That's what it's all about, isn't it? And then we can all have a little break and come back, and 2026 is going to be another epic year, I'm sure. There is, of course, I say one more game left for us all to enjoy on Sunday. So hopefully I'll be able to bring you that game. I don't know for certain yet. I'll see if I can swing things around and be able to do it. If I can, I will. If not, I'll say Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas to Andreas, of course. Merry Christmas to all you guys in the chat, everybody that's contributed to the show this year. Agneta as well, look there, look some Christmassy things looking there, which is nice, isn't it? So yeah, thank you very much to all you guys. I say it wouldn't be the same without you. John says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, chaps, and all in the chat. Indeed, and yourself. The time for the game on Sunday is it kicks off at 1 o'clock, I think it is. 1 o'clock, I'm pretty sure it's 1 o'clock kick off. I'm sure it is.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. Well, that's UK time, of course. I don't know what time it is in Sweden. I don't know if you're behind or ahead, or we're the same now because we moved their clocks. I don't know. Anyway, it's 1 o'clock UK time on Sunday. So hopefully I'll be here for that. I'll say if not, have a great Christmas, everyone. Enjoy, and you know, don't let a few football results spoil your Christmas. Anyway, whatever happens, enjoy it. And you know, there's more important things in life sometimes, isn't it? So just enjoy your time, enjoy Christmas, have a good one, everyone. We will see you very, very soon. And yes, ending 2025 on a high. It's been a good year, hasn't it? So thank you for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe. And of course, we'll see you soon. Merry Christmas. Come on, you Gunners. Let's do it. See you soon, guys. Take it easy. Have a good one.